Hello, old school gamer 1971 here. Greetings one and all, especially to you, Millie and Lloyd. Today, my third hour thoughts is on Yakuza 6 Song for Life. I've been playing this game for around 3 hours, and this is what I think. Yakuza 6 Song for Life by Sega is an adventure game that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018. Yes it is. It's the 7th main entry into Kiryu's story. However, it is rumoured to be his last. There are other Yakuza stories yet to be told, and Judgment, coming out this summer, is set in the same universe. This was the second game that was made for this generation of console. The first was released earlier in the console cycle. When you look at this game, boy can you tell it was built for the PlayStation 4. With Judgment and Shenmue 3 confirmed, with 3, 4 and 5 also penciled in for this year, it would be great to have the whole series on PlayStation 4 and an absolute fantastic time to be a fan of the series. They really are outstanding, and over the years they've honed their craft, with first the Shenmue early games and then the Yakuza series. With 4 games in the Yakuza universe and 1 in the Shenmue universe, which is being developed by the original creator of the first Shenmue, my wallet is about to take a big hit. Very happily, I will point out. You play as Kiryu, a former Yakuza, who after the 5th game's end, ends up in hospital. The police arrive and arrest Kiryu, and he ends up in prison to finally cleanse himself of the Yakuza. His kind of adopted daughter, adopted in all but adoption, Haruka, she decides it's time to admit who her kind of adoptive father is. She'd won a kind of pop idol thing, live on stage telling her fans she was retiring from stardom. It is worth a mention that Haruka is the daughter of Yumi, the only woman that Kiryu has ever loved. When Kiryu gets out of prison, Haruka is not there waiting to greet him. So he goes to the Morning Glory orphanage. Kiryu looked after this orphanage since Yakuza 3, formerly named the Sunshine Orphanage, and is now run by Kiryu and Haruka. Kiryu had been raised in a similar orphanage, the Sunflower Orphanage. Once Kiryu arrives, it becomes apparent that Haruka has truly disappeared. Eventually, when he can find nothing else out, he returns to his old haunting ground, Kamurocho. You soon find out it's not the area that you once knew. A year earlier, a fire had changed the area forever. The Triads moved in and changed the lay of the land. Now Kamurocho is a war zone where even civilians are not safe. He seems to be getting nowhere close to the whereabouts of Haruka when police contact Kiryu and say she's been involved in an accident and is in the ICU. When Kiryu is introduced to Haruka's son, Haruto, Kiryu starts a journey to find out what happened to Haruka, and all of this happens within the first hour. Their normal montage that started most of the Yakuza games is not here. I am kinda gutted about this, but once the game starts, we start off in a bar with a lady serving us drinks. It's kind of a small bar. They are talking about someone unseen off screen. In walks an aggressive man who challenges you to a fight. After we make short work of him, he tries to talk a big game, being Hiroshima Yakuza, but not knowing Kiryu's history. This is also to familiarise or re-familiarise us with the combat controls. He doesn't take his defeat very well. We pick up this story later in the game, chapter 3. We get some white powder out of the bag and mix a baby's bottle and then feed him. We get some of the ending of the 5th game. Haruka is on stage performing when in between songs she addresses her audience. She admits to being raised by Kazuma Kiryu, ex-Yakuza, and that he is in fact her family, that he is a good man and she doesn't want to live a lie anymore. She wants to return to her family Kiryu and is retiring from the limelight. Kiryu is left hurt after the final boss of the 5th game. He tries to make his way to Haruka and collapses in an alleyway. When she gets there she bends down and he thinks it is all a dream. When he awakens he is in the hospital with Haruka and Akiyama, former associate and friend. While Kiryu is laying on the bed, the police turn up and arrest Sujima, who is stood outside the door with Majima, frenemy to Kiryu. Once Sujima goes quietly, they ask if this is Kiryu's room. They arrest Kiryu for his past transgressions. Makoto Date, Kiryu's police friend, states that with a good lawyer there is a chance that Kiryu would not serve a day. However, Kiryu is a proud man and will instead serve his time to cleanse his soul, in effect to set him free of the taint of the Yakuza. But the fact is the police have only done this to show that they're doing something about crime within the city. Haruka visits Kiryu in prison and tells him that she's returning to the Morning Glory orphanage. Sorry, but that is just funny. Sometimes a literal translation is just better. The kids are pleased to see her, and there is a whole dinner scene that is such a nice touch. One of the kids is getting a tryout for the baseball team with a chance of a scholarship. Another child shows Haruka a magazine piece about her connections to Kiryu. They have scathing comments and visibly hurt Haruka, claiming that the orphanage is a place where the Yakuza groom the young to join their ranks, that her fame only happened because the Yakuza paid for it to happen. When she's sitting on the beach reflecting, clearing her head later, she looks at her social media and realising it is affecting the orphans. The people are accusing the Yakuza of being behind the boys' tryout and asking why she ever returned there. This is the final straw, and Haruka decides it's for the best that she leaves. She decides to leave that night under the cover of darkness. She is at the door when one of the children catches her, Ayoko. Haruka makes her promise not to tell the other kids of her plan, to move closer to Kiryu and they will return together upon Kiryu's release. There is a montage of a passage of time and the night of the fire. As the triads look on, happy with their work, it moves forward to Kiryu's release 3 years later. He returns to the orphanage, expecting to see Haruka there as well. He sees the older children looking after the younger ones. They are emotional to see Kiryu, but also because it becomes apparent that Kiryu has not seen Haruka. Not just that, but no one has had any contact in that 3 years. Ayoko comes clean about what happened that night, and Kiryu shows wisdom in setting the kids straight, that it was not their fault. He reads the same magazine Haruka did 3 years earlier. Kiryu sets out to find out what happened to Haruka and why she left, especially after he cannot seem to make contact with Akiyama. Yes, I have went more in depth than usual, but it was all a ruse. A ruse to get more of this intro in this video. Yes, there were odd bits of gameplay in this time, but it's only after all this does the game start in earnest. This is an amazing start to the final entry. I suppose it could be classed as long-winded, but sure as hell not by me. So is this Yakuza 6, Song for Life, or is it Bazooka 6, Song from Your Wife? Wow, just wow. This looks so damn good. You can really tell this was created with the PlayStation 4 in mind. The character models, they just look so realistic. In fact, they have never looked better. The closed facial expressions and mannerisms are all top notch here. It is also really cool that they have wrestlers from New Japan in the game, including Kazuchika Okada. And the best bit is, it doesn't just look like him, it also has him doing the voiceover. It's good to see cameos in this game, wrestlers and actors. I also recognise the teacher from Battle Royale. Effort has been made for Kiryu's last outing. Even the people on the street just look better this time round, which brings us nicely to the streets. There is more than just one main zone this time around. It all just looks so jaw-dropping. It is noticeable, the differences both aesthetically and the overall feeling to the game. Graphically, this is one to put on when showing someone what the PlayStation 4 can do. The arcade games also look pixel perfect, and you can choose from the original screen size or to stretch it to your TV size. Also, there is first person mode. This looks cool, and it makes it a lot easier when negotiating the inside of buildings.
あくまでご信用だ。お互いにフェアで行こうや。あなた方登場界の言い分は聞かなくても分かっています。我々マフィアにアジア界で閉じこもっていろとでも言うのでしょう。ああ。その代わり、今度こそアジア界はあんたらの島だと認める。ボスにはこう伝えてくれ。
This is damn fine. It's a big plus for me. No downer here. I suppose outside looking in, it's only got Japanese voiceover with English subtitles. Again, this is the norm, par for the course. And to me at least, it gives it a more authentic feeling to the game. Also worthy of a mention is the voiceover. It sounds so good and certainly is improved. For a start, it sounds about right for their characters. Also, the location can change the sound. If they are in a small room, it now sounds like they're in a small room. I never really mentioned it in the previous games, but it sure as hell is a good addition here. The music has an arcadey feeling to it, and the battle music is spot on. The ambient sound is also really good here, especially in the city. The new areas come straight to mind because there's almost like a Chinatown section, and that sounds amazing. The combat sounds, it sounds bone crunching. It's a great sound. It's nice to see real effort put into this game. I hope the same effort goes into 3, 4 and 5 later in the year. Then we just need Dead Souls to complete my collection. Oh, and the arcade games sound note perfect too. So that's Outrun, Space Harrier and Super Hang-On, 3 of my favourite arcade games back in the day. I would say pixel and note perfect. Things are just tighter. The movement seems a little more responsive. The minigames are back. A 2-player version is in the main menu, which is a real nice touch. Real-time events are here, but feel that they add to the game overall, not detract. Photo mode is also a cool addition. Not that I ever really use it, as normally I'm too busy playing the game. I know some people, however, love this, and this is another good addition to the game. Those minigames have a real Japanesey feel to them. Only in a game from Japan would there be a minigame where you comfort a baby whilst running around the streets looking for baby formula, or walking around the street getting involved in combat, handing the baby to a complete stranger so you can fight. Again, the human stories are back. One of them is about live chat and is it cheating and people getting naked online. Or one with a Siri-like AI becoming self-aware and things go bad when she realises she's under threat of being shut down. Or in the main story where the guy keeps wanting to fight you because he's like a backwater Yakuza. His boss is the guy from Battle Royale, by the way. The capture is well impressive. The collectibles, side quests and minigames, there is so much to do here and everything seems so much fun. You also get EXP and pluses from eating. It is all so very well designed and a great way for you to waste time and money in the game. PS, you can get drunk, which does have pros and also cons. Again, this is a 3-hour review, right? That I just happened to play for 8 hours and still feel gutted having to leave its world now. That's why the review's late. Kiryu seems both older and wiser. It's cool to see how the other characters have grown. It's good to see those you recognise and meeting new characters alike. For me, I like how the triads became involved. We're about to tread that old path again here. It reminds me of characters from Bruce Lee movies. The city's sound makes this an outstanding game to play here, but the utmost is the story. It's so involving. Some of the characters are new. Some of the characters have been in all 6 previous entries. The graphics are spot on, the sound is authentic on the streets, and the gameplay is just fun as hell. Couple that with the largest map it has ever been. Over the years this story has been building to this ending, and 8 hours in, it's looking like the ending I've been hoping for. Come what may, it's been one hell of a journey, and it looks like Judgment is going to be just as interesting and a worthy successor. Hell yeah, this is a series that I've been invested in since the beginning, and whilst I'm kinda gutted that Kiryu's story is nearly over, the universe is at least carrying on. Judgment, I am unsure of who you play. Now I could look it up, but would rather have the surprise instead. Back to Yakuza 6. It feels like this was always the plan. It probably isn't, but that is testament to the writer's skill. New areas and enemies, all the stuff that has always made this a great series, has made this the best entry into the series. The combat is fun, not at all realistic in any way, but still entertaining nonetheless. With a world with so much to do, so many ways to just spend hours just drinking the game in. So if you've made it this far, please give the series a chance. You won't regret it, I promise. So Yakuza 6 Song for Life, it most certainly is. So that about wraps it up. I hope you all have a good day. If this has been helpful in any way, like, comment, share and subscribe, as it helps the channel grow and makes an old man very happy. I post new videos every week. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.